During a production, you'll find yourself selecting colors for various things like the color of a light, color of a surface. While you're working with procedural textures, you'll be working with colors. It's something that will be doing a lot. So I thought we could take a look at color selection in Lightwave. Now I'm going to work in layout, but it works the same way in Modeler. So say we want to start selecting a color. I'm going to go over to the surface editor, and what we have here for color, we've got these three numbers. This is red, green, blue, RGB. Now if I want to adjust the color, and we'll be able to see it in OpenGL back here, but if I want to adjust the color, I can left click and drag on the red, and I can lower the amount of red. See how he's turning green? I guess he's like the Hulk, he's getting mad. If I increase the red, we'll get a lot more red. Okay, and I'm left clicking and dragging over these numbers, and it's like a mini slider for changing the color. Now if I right click in the window, it changes from red, green, blue to hue, saturation, and value, and I can adjust just the same way. I'm just using a little mini slider by left clicking and dragging. I'm holding down the left mouse button and I'm dragging to change it. To get it back to red, green, blue, to RGB, we just right click and we're back there. Now next to that is the little color swatch, and when you click that, you bring up the color selection requester that's standard to your specific platform. So this is going to be different if you're on, say, an Apple or a Mac. It's going to be different than if you're on a PC or a Windows system. Okay, and we can just come over here and click and drag and pick the color we want. We can pick from some of the basic colors if we'd like. We can create a color and store it here, but this is all standard for the for the color selection requester for your platform. I'm going to go ahead and hit cancel. Now there's another way to select colors that is using the Lightwave color picker, but what we have to do is we have to tell it, instead of using the platform specific color picker, we want to use the Lightwave color picker. So I'm going to go over to O for general options, but actually I'm in the surface editor, so I'm going to come over here and go O to open up the general tab on preferences, and under color picker, instead of default, which is what we've been using, I'm going to change it to Lightwave color picker and close that down. Now anytime, not just in the surface editor, anywhere I go to, well, actually let's go ahead and go over to the light properties, and under light color, again, anywhere you see these RGB values, you can just use the mini slider, but I'm going to open up the Lightwave color picker. Okay, so now anywhere, because I use this option, anywhere I go to click on that color swatch, it's going to bring up the Lightwave color picker. Now, the quick color allows me to use mini sliders for hue, saturation, value, and RGB. I can store and use custom colors that I set up. Okay, but I can also hop over here, and this is a little bit more like what we were doing in the color selection requester that came up by default. Okay, and I still have the ability to key in the numbers manually if I want. Okay, but I can pick from here. I've got tint and shade that I can work with, and again over here I have the ability to go bright and dark, brightness and darkness right here. I've got tint and shade, I've got wavelength, but where I really get excited, especially since we're in the light properties panel, is Kelvin. This is light temperature. So if I want a warm light, I'll come somewhere over in here. I mean, I can go way over here, but usually I try and stay within this range right around in here. So I can go with a warm light and I can go with a cool light. So though you can have, various color lights in your scene, and you might call for a purple light or a green light, usually I'm in this range right in here. I'm either working with a nice little warm light or a nice cool light. So when I'm lighting a scene, I usually find myself in the Lightwave color picker, which usually means I'm working with the Lightwave color picker at all times because I've got this setup. But by default, you're not going to have these options. Okay, and again, nothing stops you from, in the other color picker, choosing a warm color without using Kelvin, but for a quick way of getting the light temperature. I don't think anything beats this. This is really nice. So I'm going to go ahead and hit OK, and I've changed the color of my light. And if you want to go back, you just hit O for general options, color picker, default. So this is where you'll change it from default to Lightwave color picker. Okay, I'll set it back to default. And that's just a quick look at color selection. And again, it works the same way in Modeler. Just remember that you can adjust the RGB values here. You can right click to get the hue saturation value, right click to get back to RGB, and you can use the various color selection requesters that you choose, either the default or the Lightwave color picker.